Oh my goodness, you guys couldn't hear me. Thank you so much. I've been dancing by myself, I guess. But you are consistent in your ways. Letting you talk. Let's dance in. It is Independence Day for all of our Americanas. Happy Independence Day for all of our Americans. Happy Republic Day for all of our Ghanaians. Let's be inviting people. Look at me, rather. Evidence full everywhere. Are y'all ready? It's Friday. It's been a week. Now you do this one. Full everywhere. Evidence has to be full everywhere after this session. Make sure to be sharing. Make sure to be sharing. We have 2 more minutes before we officially start. And as you're sharing, make sure you're dancing. It's going to be such a good time. When you look at my life, you go see. The blessings is there, beep. And what you explain all the good things. Hi, Peace. Hi, Chidinma. Hi, Kwari. Hi, Chinwendu. Hi, Faith. I see you all. Welcome. Look at me, rather. I love it. This second half of the year, evidence full everywhere. It doesn't even matter how the first half went. Evidence full everywhere. Yes. Welcome, everyone. 1 more minute to tell your girlfriend, to tell your fellow Black sister in STEM she needs to be here. I mean, where else would she be? All everywhere. Testimonies, day everywhere. Oh my God. Now you do this one. Evidence, all everywhere. Awesome. Yes, I hope you guys are dancing. I hope you are dancing. I hope you know that you are a testimony. Amen. Yes, I love that. So welcome. It is celebration time. All right, so let's get into it. So we are now happily. Don't you guys just love, I just love it here. Largest 6-figure collegiate sorority. We are in the building. If you don't know who we are Black Sisters in STEM. If you don't know, I am Yamiche Wilson. If you haven't been here before, you're never gonna leave again. It's always a good time. Hi, the Cyber Corner. Yes, we always love seeing you, having you. And it's about to be a real good time. So now let's get into everything. And let me know, I'm just loving playing with these layouts. Don't you guys just love it? I'm like, should you guys see me? Should you guys just see the thing? It's cute. But anyway, I think the most critical thing is that you guys see the screen the most, right? So, all right. Largest 6-figure collegiate sorority. We are Black Sisters in STEM, and we are live. We are streaming now on YouTube and LinkedIn. If your person doesn't know that we are here, let them know, okay? Let them know we are live. Send the link, send the look. Oh, thank you. We love looks, honey. We give looks every single Friday, okay? So yes, you can also dress up as well. Clap that too. Yes. Dress up like you got to come to a whole service. I love it. So we're live. Share. We want to see everyone you know who's a Black Sisters in STEM on here. So we're going to create atmosphere of sisterhood and love and support, which we always do. So make sure to say hello to your fellow sister. Make sure to say hi. make sure to ask them to drop their name, major, and location. Name, major, and location. Your destiny helper can literally be in the comments. Do not play with this, okay? There are so many people who have found their husbands in comments, their wives in comments, their business partners in comments, their future bridesmaids in comments. Listen, do not take any moment lightly. This is a big thing. And your energy level, tell us where you're at. Are you just one, you just woke up and you're at a one? Or you're four, fully caffeinated, fully ready to go, hype, excited? Let us know where you are at in terms of 1 to 4. So as you guys do that, I will get into the rest of the amazing time we're going to have. So MVPs for the week. Amazing, 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 amazing. Look at them. They're so beautiful. So excited to see them. We have Emanuela, data science girly. We have Selena, who is an economics and industrial organization. Love it. We have Joy, who's another data analyst. We have Kobe, computer engineering. We have Yvonne, who is sociology and social work. And then we have Rhoda, banking and finance. I used to be a banking and finance girl, so I have a slight love for anyone who wants to go down that path as a Black woman. So shout out to our MVPs. Now, and also, let's real quick, are they not so beautiful? Yes, clock that T. Clock it, okay? Because one thing is that you can be a Black woman in STEM and still be beautiful. Don't let anyone confuse you about that. So welcome to our MVPs. MVPs, we want to see you in the chat. Make sure you're on YouTube or on LinkedIn so we can see your lovely faces in the chat. And congratulations. These are just some of our top amazing, beautiful women. And we thank God for them. We thank God that you're a woman in STEM, because remember, you are less than 2% of the STEM workforce globally. So you are truly an enigma. Okay. Now, why join Black Sisters in STEM? If you are new here, if you are not new here, you should already know, but truly one of a kind. We are one of a kind. And it's because of all of you. And it's because of the fact that where else will you go and meet Black women in STEM? Literally. Where can you even go on your campus and find them? Where are they gathering? So make sure you are just letting everyone know that simply just because we are an organization of Black women in STEM, we are already an enigma to begin with. And so, perks of being in Black Sisters in STEM: you get curated internships and job opportunities. You get weekly community newsletters, invites to events, workshops, programming, exclusive Black cis community access. You get to be around amazing, beautiful women like this from all walks of life: Ghana, Nigeria, Egypt, American, Canadian, whatever it is, people from the UK. And so we love it that you are joining us. And then, of course, you get access to our resource database. This is everything you need to be successful, whether it's resumes, mock resumes, resumes that have worked in your field, in your industry, whether it is how to ask good questions. Many of you don't know that half of your issues is that you don't know how to network. And so everything that we know that you would need is in Black Sis. And now we're going to take the creed. We're going to take the creed. We all know that the creed is our motto, is our anthem. It is, well, not our anthem, but it's our creed, right? It is what we believe and we stand by. So we are going to recite this together. we are going to recite this together. And when you recite it as someone who knows that they believe it. Recite it as someone who knows that this is your portion. And I will never forget, this was truly downloaded from heaven and given to me. And so when I give it to you, just know that this is truly who you actually are. And so on the count of three, we are all going to raise our right hands. If you are at home, make sure you are raising your right hand. And I want you to say this with full vim, pride, celebration. And when we do this in person, it's going to be so cute. But for now, let's practice doing it together virtually. All righty, on the count of three, we're going to go ahead. 1, 2, 3. I was born with a mandate of dominion. I will lead, affect, and impact the world. I am a Black cis woman, so I'm fearless, continuously inspired, and inspiring, and completely transformed. My life will impact my fellow Black sister to the right and to the left of me. Today, I solemnly commit myself to a life of an accomplished Black cis woman. So help me God. Round of applause for yourself. Round of applause. That was beautiful. I know you just did it really well. Like, I just believe. And so now we're actually getting into the gist of everything. Are you guys ready for the gist? The gist is ready for you. So the gist is that the Moses of STEM welcomes you. I also happen to be the Moses of STEM, so I welcome you. And my name is Yamiche Wilson. If you have not heard of me before, welcome. I welcome you. I'm happy to have you here. And it's so amazing that we are continuing to build this beautiful community of Black women in STEM. Now, today I'm here to be teaching you on persistence, perseverance. And if you want to look at my background, I will definitely say I'm someone who has a little bit of wisdom about perseverance and persistence. I was born and raised in a single parent household by my phenomenal, amazing, beautiful, extravagant, brilliant mother who came from Ghana when she was 19 years old to the US. And she was able to build a lasting legacy through her own motherhood. And she is truly my first example of resilience. And so many of you may not have had parents who showed you resilience, who showed you perseverance and persistence. But that's okay, because role models in life can come at any time. And I'm trusting God that today He will help me showcase to you what true resilience and persistence is and how you can practice it on a day-to-day basis. And in my life, I've been able to showcase a lot of resilience and persistence by the grace of God, and go from, free and reduced lunch for all the Americans. If you were a free and reduced lunch student, that means you were, the poor, right? So the schools across the United States, if you didn't make enough money for your parents to consistently bring you lunch or give you lunch, the school would give you lunch for free. And so that's the kind of student I was. That's the kind of background I'm coming from. But by God's grace, He has led me to be able to, even my first job working at Google, I was making the same amount of money that my mother had made, the same amount of money as my mother's highest pay in her over 30-year career as a nurse. And so that just goes to show you that when you continue to be resilient, you can see a lot of changes in your life. My whole socioeconomic status changed. It changed for my family. It changed for my generations forevermore. I was the first person to go to my school, University of Virginia, and the first person in my family to go on a full scholarship. So I had everything paid for me, from tuition, books, study abroad programs. Even when I wanted to buy school merch, all of that was covered for me by the grace of God, from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And not only that, but I had over 200K in additional scholarships that allowed me to actually get paid to go to school. I always tell people this, while people are talking about student loans, like, I truly do not understand that, because I never had to apply for a loan. I do not have any loan in my name. And not only do I not have loans, when I was in school, I was actually getting paid. A good 5-figure check would come to me every semester from all of the additional scholarships I had. So I was making like 10 plus K a semester, 7K a semester. And this is USD. And this is just scholarships. It's not that I'm working. No, these are scholarships that I earn that are paying me every semester just for being the winner of that scholarship for the year. And so I know a little bit about divine turnarounds. I know a little bit about being resilient until you see it happen. I know a little bit about showing up until your life changes. I know a little bit about it. And so, by the grace of God, everything that I share, I believe I have, some credibility to speak on it. And moreover, I remember that in my first year of school, because I'm a math girly, I'm a business girl, I love business, but I didn't know what I wanted to do in business. So I remember saying to myself, just casually, I'm going to intern at 3 different companies each summer, and I'm going to intern at the best companies in those industries. And all of those industries are going to be business-based industries. And so, by the grace of God, I was able to do my first internship at PwC. If you know PwC is arguably the best financial services firm amongst the big 4. And PwC is still that girl today. Okay. Then next, I was able to do my next one with McKinsey and Company. If you guys don't know what McKinsey and Company is, I highly suggest you look it up. It is one of the most lucrative and respected and difficult organizations to get into. And it's in the big 3 consulting. So when you think of BCG, Bain, McKinsey. Lastly, I went for banking and I was interning at JP Morgan. And so I don't know if you've heard of JP Morgan Chase, but it is an American bank, and it is one of the largest and one of the most successful banks in world history. And it is called JP Morgan Chase. And so after all of that, I then landed myself at Google. And I remember I was like literally one of 3 people in my class going to Google that year, at least the ones that I knew of. And I was definitely the only Black woman from my entire school going to Google. Can you imagine, for my class? That is a big, big deal. And so I know a little bit about resilience until you get there. So we're now going to talk, and I'm going to teach you a little bit about how resilience comes about, how resilience shows up, what is so critical to know about resilience. And as I'm talking, I want you to take note of what stands out to you, what is impressed on you as I'm speaking, because you should be learning and taking notes and ready to go, right? Because we know that you're likely not going to remember anything off of the head. You don't even remember last Friday. So make sure you got your notes ready and you're ready to go. So the first thing that I want to teach, and this is something that I've recently learned and I'm still learning about it, and it's exciting. I want you guys to understand the power of seed. So when it comes to persistence and resilience, everyone is going to have to be resilient and persistent in something. Jeff Bezos, who made Amazon, which is one of the largest, most successful billion-dollar companies, I believe they might be at trillion soon, in the world. And it took them 20 years to be profitable. So Jeff Bezos was the CEO of a company for 20 years. This does not include the time before he legally started the company and was just ideating on it. It does not include that time. So give or take, it could have been like 23 to 25 years before Jeff Bezos ever saw Amazon being profitable. Some of you guys are not even 25 years old. I want to say that again. Some of you are not even 25 years old. So if you think about your whole life, someone took your whole life and stood there and was a CEO of a company until it became profitable. This is what we call peak resilience, peak persistence. He could have gave up year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And now I just counted that off quickly, but remember there are 365 days in a year, and multiply that by 25. Think about your entirety of your life. Someone spent building a business that he believed would change the world. This is why you need to master this gift, this grace, this staying power. You need to learn how to stay. This generation is statistically doing some of the worst on this gift. On average, Gen Z and Gen Alpha will not stay in a job more than 2 years. Our generation has lost this grace, this gift, this power. And resilience is actually a power. If you can be consistent in anything, I can guarantee you, you will be successful. If you can code for the next 10 years, you will become a successful engineer one of these days. You need to understand that resilience is actually a power. It fuels your life. It fuels your success. It fuels your influence. And this generation, we are quick to cancel people. We are quick to give up. We are quick to say we're not going to do that anymore. We're quick to say we're not interested. All of those things are actually detrimental. Because in life, you're going to have to be resilient. Many of you girls see yourself getting married. You're not going to love your husband and be excited to see him every day of your life. That's just a funny fact. Are you going to leave because you're not interested anymore? Because you're tired? Because you don't want to share a bed? Because you don't want to help take care of someone? When you become a mother and you're tired, you're overwhelmed, you're overstimulated, are you going to give up? Are you going to leave your kids? When you are in your career and your manager is really beating you up, hopefully not physically, but mentally, you feel like this is such a hard job, it's so tasking, are you just going to stop going to work completely? With your siblings, with your friends, when they piss you off, when they do things you don't like, are you going to drop them? Are you going to drop every friend that you ever get? Are you going to give up the first sign you see that you have to have an argument with someone? If you are, I can guarantee you're going to fail in life. Because even if you see early success, staying in that success requires persistence and resilience. You know that they say the average company takes 10 years for true success to happen. And I'm not talking about sustained success. I'm talking about 10 years for success to just happen. It takes you about 10 years. So when they're training you as a leader, they tell you, are you willing to do this for the next 10 years of your life? Unless you want to, of course, sell that company. But if you want to build a business like I've been building Black Sisters in STEM, I have at least 10 years before everything that I initially saw in my vision will likely come to full fruition in a very stable and powerful global way. So what am I doing between year 0 and year 10? I'm being resilient and persistent, and I'm staying. I can give up. But if I give up, it's definitely not going to happen. So I want you to know that the only way you can fail is if you give up. And that is why the main issue you're having in your mind is the war between staying, being resilient, persisting, moving forward, or wallowing, being depressed, being anxious, sitting in your mess. You can either sit in your mess or you can get up and figure out how this mess can become a miracle. Do you know that some of the world's greatest businesses came out of a problem? Actually, all of them did. Amazon was built because at the time, you would have to go to the store for everything. And if you didn't have time to go to the store, God knows when you would get it. Google was built because there was not one place to search up everything on the internet. Zoom was built because you would have to meet someone in person if you wanted to meet them. LinkedIn was built because there was no online way for someone's resume and for someone's profile. If you wanted to hire someone, you would literally have to get a physical resume or have to have them email it to you in a very unorganized, unscalable system. And all of that information was proprietary. So it's not like I can see someone else's resumes from the submissions from their company and I'm in a different company. No. So LinkedIn became the place where everyone at all times can see everyone's resume and profile and hire accordingly. Every business is built off of a problem. And so if you want to look at problems as an issue, you're going to really struggle in life, because God has made it that even being successful in business, being successful and getting money has to be tied to a problem. If you are a software engineer, the problem is they need someone to code. And so that's where your value comes from. And unfortunately, there's not that many people who know how to code well. And so you get paid a lot. If you're a data analyst, you are getting paid a lot because the world has so much data right now, and they're trying to figure out how to organize it, how to visualize it, how to make it make sense. And so that's why they will pay you a high salary, because you are of value. So I want you to understand, you have to change your mindset to problems. When you see something going wrong, if you're like, oh my goodness, there's a problem, what is that doing for your life? What is that changing? If you want to just dwell on, oh my goodness, there's a problem, I'm so sad, I don't know what to do, I'm down, everything, woe is me. Listen, every business that you're now using, you're using Zoom. If the founder of Zoom was like, oh my goodness, it's so hard, I have to meet everybody in person, there's no solution for this, oh, woe is me, I'm always traveling, and he didn't decide to take that problem and say, maybe there's a solution, maybe I can build a solution, you would not be seeing my face today. Global teams, work from home teams would not be a thing. How can I work with you and I can never talk to you? How can I work with you and not be able to share my screen? Billionaires see problems as assets. Oh, I noticed a problem. Hallelujah. Now I can solve it. Poor people see problems as definitive. Did you catch that? Poor people see problems as definitive. It is what it is. This is horrible. Nothing's going to change. Oh my goodness. Woe is me. Pop, 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 pop. So if you want to stay broke, if you want to stay without influence, if you want to stay without a reputation of power and impact, continue to see problems as an issue. Think about it. Even our countries, so sad to see, but it's the truth. African countries, when we have problems, what do we do half the time? We go to talk to China. We go talk to the UK. We need a loan. We need a loan. We need a loan. How about we don't need a loan and we figure it out ourselves? And unfortunately, many of you are coming from African or backgrounds that are from the diaspora. And so when you see a problem in business and at your home, you should be able to look how to solve it. And one thing I will say is that our people are extremely resilient. But make sure it goes into every aspect of your life. You probably know your mom to be super resilient. She can make a whole meal out of 2 ingredients. Amazing. And now I want to encourage you that your mom, my mom, everyone in our community, we can use that same skill towards business, towards our career. But unfortunately, many of us have not been taught to do that. And that is why you are so blessed to be here. And that is why you need to share the link. Clock that T. All right? Because People need to hear this. Your friends in university need to hear this. Your mentees in university need to know this, that a problem is not definitive. It actually means God is giving you an opportunity. And I'm preaching to myself right now. I am preaching to myself right now. So even if you have an issue, take time to write down all the biggest issues in your life. Stop seeing them as, oh my God, woe is me. When is God going to change my story? Why don't you think of them as businesses? We all know Wi-Fi in Nigeria and Ghana and across the continent is very unserious sometimes. Instead of saying, oh, Wi-Fi, woe is me, woe is Nigeria, Wi-Fi in Nigeria will always be bad, why don't you spend the time to think big enough to solve the connectivity issues in Nigeria and in Ghana and in Egypt and in Morocco and in South Africa? Why don't you think you can be the person to solve that? Was it not a person who led us to the creation of Wi-Fi in the first place? Wi-Fi did not just come out of thin air. It was led by people who had the audacity to think about it. Do you know there was a world before Wi-Fi? Yeah, ask your parents. They know about it. They lived in it. You know there was a world before a phone. So if some man can wake up, and by man I mean man or woman, can wake up and think big enough to solve a problem that you're now benefiting off of, why can't you? You know, someone came up with a laundry machine. Can you imagine your life without a laundry machine? Some of you might not even have one. And you're probably wishing, oh, I wish I had a laundry machine. Or a dishwasher. I wish I had a dishwasher. A man came up with the dishwasher. A man came up with the laundry machine. It just did not show up on this planet. Imagine the only way to wash your clothes was by hand. You know how much time he unlocked? You understand how much productivity he unlocked for all of us. Clock it. Clock that T. Please. I need you to deep this. Why can't you be the next billionaire startup founder? Why can't you be the next Nobel Peace Prize winner? Why can't you be the next innovator that is on the level of Albert Einstein? Is Albert Einstein not a man, or was he a god? Who was he? He was a man. So many of you are wired, and unfortunately, you're wired like this, especially women across the continent. You're wired to focus on problems without seeing them as assets. Many of you are wired to tell your dad, tell your mom. No, when can you wake up and say, there's a problem, let me try to fix it? When can you say, oh, my parents need help with this? How can I help them? Not everything has to be a prayer point. If you would take the time to just ask God for the grace to think big, to think as a solution oriented person, and to actually move with the grace to solve things. Albert Einstein, indeed, was a human just like you. He had a mother. He was in the womb for 9 months. He had to be birthed out of a woman. He was birthed in the United States on land. He is a human being. He had a father. He was conceived the same way you were all conceived. He has a brain the same way you all have a brain. And so, number one, look to problems as assets. Stop being poor in mind. Many of you are poor in your mind. You have a poverty mindset. All you think about is no, I can't, it won't work, I don't know, it's not happening. all you know how to do is talk about the problem. You are going to have a very long journey towards success if you want to stay with a poverty mindset. You need to stop being poor in mind. The second thing that I want to teach you is that everybody has a chance to be successful. I want you to look at this picture. And let me have my screen back up. This is what I want to show you. This is a seedling and a neuron. If you don't know what these two things is, I will explain it. A seedling is basically the composition of a seed. And a neuron are the composition of your thoughts. When you think, you're firing hundreds of thousands of neurons. Isn't it funny that they look almost the same? It's not a coincidence. God is very intentional. A seed and your thoughts look basically the same in nature. So let's talk about a seed. When you want a tree, a mango tree, a apple tree, when you want to get pineapples, and I love that most of us are able to have seen or buy produce, so you know what it means and the value to get fruit, vegetables, all the things that you cook with. Isn't it funny that beautiful, I love fruits. So isn't it funny that that same fruit was once that little seedling? And science can't even fully tell you all the things that happen between the fruit going from a seed to the actual fruit. What does that tell you? A seed has the ability to produce something much greater than itself, something beautiful, something valuable. Same thing with your thoughts. Your thoughts have the ability to produce something beautiful, something valuable. Unfortunately, many of you are firing off neurons that are connecting together to form negative thoughts. Many of you, your mind is constantly being battled with negativity. But the same way that seedling can produce something beautiful, huge, something better than itself, is the same way your thoughts can lead you to that as well. Remember, LinkedIn was first a thought. The platform you all use, and now you're talking about your LinkedIn managers and creators. That was somebody's thought. Facebook was somebody's thought. Instagram was somebody's thought. Indomie was somebody's thought. Somebody thought about creating Indomie. Somebody thought to create Wache. Shout out to all my Ghanaians. Somebody thought to create pounded yam. That is one of the best exports of Nigeria, by the way. Okay? And that's not statistically proven. That's just my personal my personal belief. Whoever came up with pounded yam, God bless them. Okay? Egusi was somebody's thought. There was a world before somebody put egusi together, before they put egusi seeds with palm oil, with spinach. Like, it was, somebody thought of wache. And shout out to all the northerners in Ghana, because wache was created by the Hausas in Ghana. Somebody came up with the iPhone. Somebody came up with the cell phone. Somebody came up with Canva. You guys love Canva every day, huh? Yeah. Somebody came up with that. She's actually a woman, and now she's a multi-billionaire. So women can think and become multi-billionaires. What is the difference between the Canva founder and you? I want you to understand that your ability, truly, Agusi is a blessing. Your ability to persist is based off of your mind. There's some people who do not persist, but they rather choose to end their life. Excuse me. And I want you to know we live in a world now where your life is like 10 million times better than the average person in 1901. You have so much more at access to you. Many of you, you have laptops, you have Wi-Fi, you have phones. And yet, people who had so much less than you can still have the ability to think their way to positivity and create a better life. Think their way to a better life. Your parents had less than you. Your parents had less opportunities. Your parents did not have LinkedIn. Your parents did not have a phone. Your parents did not have Wi-Fi. Your parents did not have mobile money. Your parents, let's go on and on. PayPal, Zoom, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Canva, ChatGPT. And yet they could take the time to still figure out life that you could even be born. You are in the time of AI, and you can even ask AI to help you. And you still are just stuck on pain and bitterness and evil and bad, and nothing is going well, and woe is me. It's funny that though we have the most access, we have the most amount of mental health issues in our generation of any other generation. Isn't that funny? And so I want you to write down these principles. I want you to write down these principles. Number one, you must shift your mind to the fact that problems are assets. That's number one. Number two, you must see your thoughts as seeds in the garden of your destiny. Your thoughts are seeds in the garden of your destiny. And would you plant bad seeds? Would you plant weeds? Would you plant things in a garden that you know will destroy the garden? If not, Why do you allow yourself to constantly say, I'm not beautiful, I'm not worthy, I'm not effective, I don't have what it takes to succeed, I'm not going to get the job, no one's going to hire me, my resume is trash, my LinkedIn is trash? Why do you allow yourself to continue to have those thoughts? You're essentially planting weeds. And if we do not know, weeds actually destroy gardens. That's why farmers hate them. There's a reason why farmers hate them. It's because they destroy the actual good seed and they take away nutrients from the good seed. So you are doing yourself when you allow yourself to constantly think evil. And then the last thing I'm going to leave with you is what I leave with you every single week. Philippians 4, verses 8. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. Another version would say, meditate on these things. The last principle that I'm teaching you is what you fill into your body, into your mind, actually affects number 2. That's why Apostle Paul wrote here that you should meditate and you should fill what you see, what you hear, where you go with goodness. Because if you're filling yourself with goodness, if you're filling yourself with lovely things, with pure things, with virtuous things, with true things, it's actually going to lead you to having true thoughts, honest thoughts, lovely thoughts, just thoughts, good thoughts, virtuous thoughts. Your brain is everything that you put into it. That is why they always talk to you about trauma. Because trauma lives in your brain's memory and it affects your thoughts. But you don't have to stay in the past. You don't have to stay in the point of your past. You can override it with filling yourself every day with good things. Like a garden. If your crop has not been good, if you've been harvesting negativity, start looking to what is in the environment. Sometimes it's not the seed. Sometimes it's the environment of the seed. If your seed does not have sun, it won't grow. If your seed is not planted well, it won't grow. If your seed doesn't have enough water, it won't grow. Those are all external factors to the seed, correct? So you must understand your environment matters so much. And some of you think you have no power over your environment, but you do. What are you listening to? Are you listening to breakup songs every 5 minutes? Are you listening and do you have friends who tell you you're stupid and you're not going to go anywhere? Do you have a boyfriend who's telling you that you're worth nothing? Are you not attending Black Sis events? You actually have a lot of control over your environment as an adult. You have a lot of power over it. Even your Instagram feed. You know, Instagram is built to show you what you click on. If your Instagram and Facebook and TikTok feed is negativity, it's because you're always clicking on negativity. If it's quotes of empowerment and successful women and successful people and how to make money, it's going to change your algorithm to show you those things. So many of you are your own worst enemy. Many of you are your own worst enemy. You're over here like, oh my goodness, it's just so much negativity around me. Why is there negativity on your Instagram page? Why is there negativity on your TikTok? Why is there negativity on your Facebook? Why are you in WhatsApp chats that are negative? Why do you have a boyfriend who is not uplifting you? Why do you have friends who are not pouring into you? Why do you hang around jealous people? Why do you hang around petty people? Why do you join organizations that are negative? Why do you gossip with gossipers? Why? So some of you are like, okay, well, I'm going to change my seed, but then you don't change your environment. You don't come to Friday sessions with Black Sis. You don't come, you don't show up. You don't change your algorithm by starting clicking on things that are effective. You don't start talking to people who want to see you grow. You don't leave friends who are gossiping about you, who just take your money, who are always making jokes about you, who are always making you feel down. Listen, if anyone is consistently making you feel down, click, click, click. They gotta go. It's simple. They do not have to be in your life. If this man is like, I'm gonna leave you every 5 minutes, let him leave you. He's not good for you. Okay? Let me help you. Don't be your own worst enemy. Do not marry anybody who's beating you on the weekends. Do you know most people who were abused in their marriages, they were abused before they got married? Hello? If he's controlling you, click, click, got a blast. He has to the bin. Because he's literally killing every seed in your life. And this is for someone. So whoever you are, wherever you are, cut it, cut it. That is not your husband. That is not your God. Cut him now. Don't let your whole destiny be ruined by somebody's son. As in how? And so those are the three principles. Because you must persist. You must be resilient. You must have staying power. You must grow. You must. It is a must in life. It's not only some people have to be, everyone has to be persistent in this thing called life. So it's either you want to figure out how to master persistency, you want to figure out how to master staying power, or you want to just live a very lackluster, low life. And the sad thing is, God has made us all very powerful, and He has made you to be a phenomenal 10 out of 10 game-changing woman. But you yourself are not helping yourself to get there. And what I love about God is He will never force you. So if you want to be excellent, that's your choice. If you don't want to be excellent, that's your choice. If you want to think you're going to fail every day, that's your choice. If you think you're going to succeed every day, that's your choice. If you think people are going to be good to you, that's your choice. If you think everyone's going to be evil to you, that's your choice. What are you choosing? Today, choose better. We thank God. Olawumi. Olawumi. We thank God. So today I leave you with these 3 principles, and I pray you actually take the time to reflect. Rewatch this. It's going to be on YouTube, 5eva. It's going to be on LinkedIn, 5eva. And rewatch it. Write down. Okay, let me think through. Write down your problems. Let me think through them. You know, even as women, someone came up with the menstrual pad. Can you imagine life without a pad? Without tampons? Yeah, that was somebody's reality. There was a time where all women had were napkins and cloth. Someone came up with the menstrual pad. Someone came up with tampons. And those are even more powerful than any Zoom could ever be, because they unlocked opportunities for women. So don't just think you have to make tech companies. What about hair companies? What about skincare companies? What about mental companies for women? What about all these things? Look at the problems in your life. Stop. You don't have to look for problems. Look at your own life. Where's the problems? Write them down. And say, I'm gonna meditate on these things. What could be the solution? 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 What's maybe this is the solution. What could be the solution? So that is it. I hope you all learned a whole lot today by the grace of God. If you did, let me know in the chat. Now, we want you to pull out your phones and scan the code. If you are not a part of Sister Nation, again, you're doing yourself a disservice. This is just one of the many, many, many ways that this organization is amazing. Our events, our community, our perks, our scholarships. What other organization do you know is giving out monthly scholarships? Clock that T. I'm going to just say that. So scan, the team will put the link in the chat as well on LinkedIn and YouTube. And so you can click the link from the comments. You can scan this. You can also, let me show the link on the screen as well. The link is simply bit.ly/Sister Nation. bit.ly/Sister Nation. Simple, short link. Join us. It's the best in the world. Why wouldn't you join us? Then follow, subscribe, like, comment. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on LinkedIn, because hello, you want to get notifications of this. Okay? So we're Black Sisters in STEM on YouTube. We're Black Sisters in STEM on LinkedIn. Make your time count. We are building LinkedIn warriors in Black Sisters in STEM, because listen, every one of you should have a brand. Every one of you, actually, you are already a brand. The thing is that, do people know your brand? So you need to be on LinkedIn. You need to be showcasing your learnings, your growth. It is imperative in this global world, in this digital world, in this AI world. So make your time count. Share your key takeaways from this on LinkedIn. Tag me, tag Black Sisters in STEM. And if you want to tag your fellow sisters as well, tag them. And for next week, make sure you are sharing. I love seeing the repeaters here. Beautiful. I love seeing the repeaters here. Please on LinkedIn, put the link, LinkedIn and YouTube, put the link to join Black Sis, please. And so, yes, make sure you share. Don't be selfish. Don't be prideful. Don't be self-centered. All your friends, everyone you know who is a Black woman in STEM, in university or master's program, you better tell them they can't miss next week. That is if you had a great time. Awesome. So I want to see new people next week. Clap that tea. And I believe that's the end of the slideshow. So make your time count, make your time count, make your time count. Awesome. I'm happy that you had a wonderful time. Chinwendu, this is amazing. And we are going to close out. So we're going to dance out. If you know, we dance in and we dance out. And I pray that's how you do in your life. May you dance in to every day and may you dance out of every day because you are constantly in celebration. Hallelujah. Amen. So we're going to persist. We're going to be amazing. Amen. I receive all my blessings. Amen. Thank you all for coming. It's such a good time to have you. I want to see 10 million of you next week, Friday. And stay tuned on our LinkedIn. You'll see how to register, how to sign up. But simply, it's on Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and on LinkedIn. So see you there. Let's dance out. Thank you to all of our MVPs. If you are looking for the evidence of that baby with Papa, bye, girlfriend. Make sure you're dancing. Evidence. Yes, connect, sisters. Connect. Testimonies everywhere. Oh my God. Now you do this one. Evidence full everywhere. My testimony be like light. Bye. The way you manifest yourself, I cannot explain.